Hi BookTube, I'm here today with a review of 21 Cardinals by Jocelyn Saucier, and it's translated by Rhonda Mullins. So this is the second Jocelyn Saucier / Rhonda Mullins book that I've picked up. The first one was And the Birds Rain Down for Canada Reads, which I thought was such a beautiful book. And addressed really kind of important issues, but I'm not talking about that book, I'm talking about this book. So this book is about a huge family, 21 of them, in case you don't, you can't infer that from the title, and in case you can't infer their last name, it would be Cardinals. They live in a mining town in Quebec, where their father had found the mine. He's a prospector, so he found the mine that kind of started the town that built up around it. And we follow the family over a span of time, because we see eventually like the mine failing, tragedy happens, and the novel is trying to work out what happened that caused this tragic event. So it's a multi-perspective book from some of the children's perspectives, and I really like that we're not told outright at the beginning of the different narratives who is narrating. I'm just going to give you an example here. So here we have the indication that this is the end of a narration, and the indication that there's a new one, but there's no title giving, the name of the narrator. So it's up to the reader then to kind of work out who it is based on clues given in the previous perspective. I think that's really neat to do. It's also told in memory form. I don't use the word flashbacks because that kind of has like this connotation of an omnipotent narrator who's, showing you exactly what happened. Instead, these are memories, so people, you'll get the same memory but from different perspectives, and so people remember it differently, or they remember what happened before or after the memory and that kind of thing. So it's I kind of like that it has those kind of aspects of the mystery actually in the text, as you're trying to figure out what's real and what's not real, kind of working to mesh it together, trying to figure out who's talking, and about whom. So I think that's really neat, and you go along with them to try and figure out what happened. Why did that tragedy happen? The thing that stands out for me in this novel is the writing. It is absolutely beautiful. I definitely see a lot of the same kind of style that I saw in And the Birds Rain Down, but each character is still given their own voice. It's just within the style of Saucier and Rhonda Mullins here. What I also really appreciate about this is that it is brief. But it's not rushed. You do feel like you're involved in the story and you get attached to certain characters and stuff in the 170-ish pages, 169 pages. So I think a lot of authors may have taken this same idea of having a multi-perspective book from a large family and actually given a perspective to each of the 21 children. And kind of revealing kind of what happens at the end, instead of kind of a slow release of information here and there that at first, it doesn't really seem relevant, but it actually is. So I really appreciate that she executed the concept behind it very well. Overall, I'd have to say this is definitely a 5-star book. It's amazing. I think everyone should look into it and read it and get to know what a really good multi-perspective story is. That's not necessarily fantasy. I see a lot of fantasy that's written from multi-perspective, but not a lot of like contemporaries, or I guess this semi-historical. Like it takes place in present day, but their memories are from like the 1960s and 50s and stuff. Yes, I definitely look forward to reading more Saucier, and especially if it's been translated by Mullins, because I think they just work so well together as a team. Let me know if you have any recommendations along these same lines of books kind of that are multi-perspective, contemporary stories that are well done. And let me know if you've read this as well. And thank you for watching.